Hi there. Welcome to my channel, Freckled Mom DIY. Today we are transforming Dollar Tree supplies and thrift items into high-end decor for my front porch. This is part of a collaboration with a few of my favorite YouTube creators and friends, which I'll explain a little later. Let's dive into these dupes and transform my porch. If you are returning, you have seen this porch before. This is my wraparound porch to my 1925-year-old New England cottage. I am so in love and I love transforming it for every holiday. So this one is super cute. These are some foam Dollar Tree pumpkins, and yes, these were $1.25, and these were my inspiration for $39.50. So I ran out to my garage and I spray painted these with one coat of my almond spray paint. Now we are in the craft room and I'm using my Waverly chalk paint and ivory, and I'm doing a stippling effect to give it almost like that stone terracotta look to it. So this is a few different colors we are working on. I'm going to make an orange using a vivid orange and a fire coral. And then I went through and I added my seashell pink and spiced berry. And this was to get that perfect terracotta color. Now maybe there is a better mixture, but I think this came out pretty perfect. Now we're not going to be needing a lot of this. So I have a dry brush here and I'm starting out light, and we're just going to go very lightly down the pumpkin. As I go, I start going a little darker, and I really like that color. So I am keeping with that nice thick color in between. Now I'm doing this just so it looks spatial, if that makes sense. Because now we're going through with my cashew and I'm doing that same stippling effect. Now I'm going to do it between all the spots that had that ivory showing and on the top and for the topping. Now we're going to make a little mixture of Mod Podge and flour. So I have a little bit of Mod Podge here on my brush, and I'm just going over the part that is orange. So I'm doing two parts at once, you can see here, and I just do the Mod Podge first, and this does dry clear. But I'm using some flour and I just sprinkle the flour over the Mod Podge. So nothing special, just Mod Podge and then sprinkle the flour. I shake off a little bit of the excess and then I use my fingers and I just pat it down. Now I had seen this on Liz Marie's blog. If you follow her, I'll link her down in my description. But she had used a spray paint, a clear spray paint. As you can see, we are in the house. We are doing this on a rainy morning, so we are not using clear spray paint. So this is just the Mod Podge again, and then sprinkling on the flour, and then we're just going to pat it. So you can see the other one over there that is done. I love this. I think this is so stinking sweet. I love that it worked with the Mod Podge because I'm not always able to use spray paint. So I think this was a great way to make terracotta pumpkins with Mod Podge and flour. Let me know in the comments if you try this. So here is my inspiration for $39.50, and mine cost $2.50 plus the supplies for paint that I already had in my stash. So here is a thrift flip. I had picked this up for $3.99, and I have never worked with a tobacco tray before, so I'm really excited. So I did cut those florals off, and I'll probably use them for another project. But we are going out to the garage to recreate a gray tobacco basket that was $48. So I am using that same spray paint that I did with the pumpkins. So everything is matching. That is my almond spray paint, which is in my Amazon store. And I just do one good coat because we are going to be going into our craft room. This is the dry almond tobacco basket. And now I just have my Waverly chalk paint and elephant and a dry brush, and I am just dry brushing this. There is no rhyme or reason to this. I started seeing that wood grain coming through and I was so excited, so I just kept going. I went heavy in some spots and lighter in some spots. I went over the edge a little bit as well, and then I went a little heavier on the inside of that rim. And I just love how it came out. I think this is so stinking sweet. Again, I've never had one of these trays before, and I know that like everybody has done these. So I really wanted to use these to style and DIY, and I'm so excited that it came out looking so nice. I love seeing that wood grain in there. I think it looks very close to the tobacco basket for $48. Mine was $3.99. Plus the cost of supplies. As I mentioned before, this is a collaboration, High-End for Cheap, hosted by Yanni and Diane from Deco Easy and Kiki from Kiki's DIYs. My friends and inspirations, Crafty Leanie, Marika, and Mumdas are all joining. I'm so excited to see what everyone creates. So please follow along. The link for the playlist and their channels are in my description. So this next one is very easy and very cheap, mind you. So this is my vase. It is pink and I've had it for quite a while. So we are just going to make it a little more high end. Here at Pottery Barn, they had a sale, but before the sale, it was $50 to $69. So I am going through and I am painting this with white. I liked both of those inspiration pictures, but this is the one I ended up with. I love it. And also I have some florals here. So these florals are from the Dollar Tree and they're just a bunch of different fall picks. And we're just going to make a nice little arrangement. We also have some pumpkins here. These are also from Dollar Tree and you can clip on them, but we're going to pull them apart and we're going to make little picks for our arrangement using these skewers. So I do have a little helper here. We have a new kitten and he is definitely needing a little love right now. So Lincoln is a little needy, but all we're doing here is pushing those skewers into the bottom of these pumpkins. These guys have a little metal to them, so I am just going to cut that off and then take the skewer and add it right to the bottom of that pumpkin. I have these in my stash, but we have 4 of these pumpkins here that are normally $1.25, and then those bigger pumpkins come in 3 packs. So you can stick them in the skewers, or you could keep the clips on them and clip them to the skewers. Either way, I think it works out perfect. All I'm doing is throwing them into my jar here and making a quick little floral arrangement. And I think this is so adorable. Oh my goodness. I love once it's all together. I love final pictures and I just love this. I cannot wait to go have my coffee in the morning. I'm so excited. I love this base here and I love that it was for free because the ones from Pottery Barn were so expensive. This was before the sale, guys, $50 to $69, and I made mine technically for free for the cost of some Dollar Tree flowers and some embellishments that I already had in my stash. So I have some extra florals left over, and so I'm just going to make another floral arrangement. So I didn't have any inspiration for this one. This is something I had in my stash for quite a while. I'm just filling it up with some bags, and we are going to add all those same florals that we had left over. So I do the florals first. So I always do the big flowers first, and then I go in with the smaller flowers, and then I start working my way towards the embellishments and the picks. So that's just how I do it. It's totally up to you. They're really, as long as you're arranging them pretty, I think it'll come out just fine. So this was left over from New Year's Eve. So I just cut these off and I'm using them for a little extra filler. So maybe a little glam, a little something, something. I am so excited how this came out. And I think I might throw a little rock in there just so it doesn't blow away. But here is my final touches. I'm just clipping on the last of those pumpkins, and this is going outside next to my stoneware jugs. I love these jugs, and I just picked up a new one, so this was perfect for my outdoor porch. I am in love with this. I love, love, love this. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you were inspired to take some Dollar Tree supplies and thrift items and create some high-end decor and you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. You can also find me on Instagram as Freckled Mom, where I share daily inspiration as well as current projects I am working on. A big thank you goes out to Kiki, Yanni, and Diane for hosting this collaboration. I had so much fun, and I cannot wait to see what everyone else is creating. In my description, you will find the links to the other channels, Crafty Leanie, Marika Creations, and Creative DIY with Moomdas, along with the playlist, so please follow along. I love creating beautiful spaces that bring me joy, all while on a budget with DIYs and thrift flips. Enjoy the rest of this final reveal, and please let me know what was your favorite in the comments. Keep crafting and have a great night.